Welcome back, everyone. This is Super Kelly Brothers Top 5. My name's Sloan Kelly.
My name's Jody Kelly.
My name is James Baker.
My name's Jaye McKeown.
Hello, and welcome, Jay. This is a Top 5 most iconic female characters. Whew, it's the longest top 5 title I think we've ever done. But, right.
Yeah. So we thought for this one we'd bring, well, James really thought this, but we thought we'd bring in a female, a point of view, which is a great idea.
Yeah.
Us three knuckleheads talking about it. So welcome, Jay.
Yes, welcome on.
Hello.
Thank you for taking the time to come on, because I know James has been talking this up some rotten, I can guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, it's the usual shambolic opening that we're used to, so that's good. So who's going to go first?
Why don't one of the Kelly brothers go first? Let's bookend this. A Kelly brother first, a Kelly brother last.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So Jody, you can go.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Am I going 5 to 1? I take it?
Yes.
Not 1 to 5, don't want to.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going. Number 5 is Evie from V for Vendetta.
Okay.
Natalie Portman.
I was going to say Natalie Portman's character
in that movie. She is like she is sort of kidnapped, I suppose, by the V character, the kind of Guy Fawkes character, and then she sort of shaves her head and stuff like that. She's in prison, doesn't she? And
does it V not shave her head?
Aye. Oh God, I can't remember this. So what else has I've seen?
Poor Jody, I just want to say, poor Jay. She was like, I'm a bit nervous, like I maybe won't know my stuff. I'm like, listen, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
You'll be all right.
I haven't a clue what I'm talking about. Anyway, she actually gets her head shaved new life though, right? In for the movie, and whoever the hell does it, I can't remember. Anyway, she's a strong character, and it's he's like a Guy Fawkes type character. It's very relevant for today. And
the mask became infamous because it's used in every.
Well, it's used all the time now.
Does anyone see?
Yeah, there you go.
In fact,
yes,
James has got it right there.
Yeah,
I've got a mask as well. Actually, I've got one. If anybody does kind of demonstrations and stuff like that, they use that mask. But anyway, we're talking about the females. She's a strong character because she goes through all that stuff from him, and it's a test, isn't it? That he kind of puts her through. Pretend she's in prison, and she's kind of sending notes beside, to this character, which turns out to be the V character. He's actually doing all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
was it notes?
Strong character.
Was it notes and toilet paper through the wall? Notes and toilet paper.
Very relevant then, because obviously the toilet paper shortage, you couldn't do that, in this day and age. You know what I mean? So all very relevant. Sorry,
that was months ago. Now it's ketchup we're short of.
Are we? Hello. Oh, hello. Hi, Heidi.
Yes, it is Heidi. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Off you go. Right.
Full family.
It is.
Where's Jillian?
She's in the kitchen.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I think she was a strong character. I've not seen the film for ages, but when I did this top 5, I was like, it was a bit like Tourette's for me. I was like, right, bang, 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 bang. Even though I said to you guys, I'll think about it overnight, and get back to you. But I was working today, so I thought I'll leave it till late on, and then just go whatever.
I don't think you really need to know I don't think you really need to know the minutiae of what Evie done in that film. I think she started off as us, and then she was
became
initiated. She became
radicalized by this.
Radicalized quite quickly over the the hour and a half of that film.
I know, but there's a period of time that she's in prison.
That's right.
She thinks she's in prison, but she's actually still in his basement that's decked out like a prison.
Jay, do you know the film we're talking about? V for Vendetta? Yeah, you've seen it.
You probably know more about it than I do, then.
No, I've not seen it for ages, but it's quite popular. It's mentioned in quite a lot of teen films nowadays, like references to it. So,
well, it was an Alan Moore comic book who did Watchmen.
right.
I don't know if you've seen Watchmen, but he does these kind of political type.
Who I missed that there.
Heavy.
Heidi was asking a wee question. Who was?
No, I was just saying it's an Alan Moore comic originally, and it's he did the Watchmen, and his stuff's all quite politically kind of orientated.
Yeah.
Charged. He's quite a miserable comic book writer, isn't he?
Oh, he totally denounces every single movie version or TV version that's ever been done of his stuff because he thinks he thinks he's a bit of above.
I think so.
I don't know about everybody, but kind of movies and things. He thinks that comic books. He said that it could never be filmed. As if it's so genius, and comic books are so up there, which the comic books are great, but nothing's unfilmable now.
Alan, if you're listening, it's Jody at superkellybros.com.
Not me.
Send your complaints.
Yeah.
Come on, Alan, shave your beard off for charity, for COVID.
we all know that.
Cut your hair, cut your bloody hair. You're about 7 years old. Get a grip.
Even I wouldn't say that.
I'm kidding. I love his
I don't
stuff.
think Alan Moore kids that much, to be fair.
He's not much of a kidder, is he?
He's not, no. He's sitting here. He's sitting watching this on his iPad. He's going like this.
I know.
Sitting there with his V for Vendetta mask on.
Which
doesn't work if you get a big giant beard, by the way.
I actually really, really like that film. That was the last film that we went to see in the cinema before any of our children were born. Gillian sat in the cinema,
really,
with Faith in her tummy, and she doesn't realise it. She's sitting over here playing Fortnite. But we went to see that, and I just think it's more relevant now than it's ever been. It's very anti. I can't even say that word. Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Oh my God! Don't try and say that at this time of night.
I know, but it is very that word.
That is very.
I know.
I would actually say it's extremely, that word.
We, myself and Julian, used to be fans of The Matrix and used to go and see any film done by, what brothers was it? The Wachowski brothers.
The Wachowski sisters now.
It's now the Wachowski sisters, yeah, absolutely.
He's just the Wachowskis now.
I think it's definitely just the Wachowskis. I don't know, something's taking a fall. I'm not sure.
Spider-Man just took a nosedive there. Was it Superman?
Yeah, here, Heidi, pass me Superman.
Oh, there's a bit of a tremor here.
He's all right.
Is there an earthquake in the west of Scotland now? Or
I
know. We're good. So yeah, it's the Wachowskis now. It's the Wachowskis, not the Wachowski brothers, because it literally for years through the film Matrix trilogy and V for Vendetta was the Wachowski brothers, but then it's changed. So quite good, quite like that.
There you go. I'll tell you what, though, this is meant to be 5 minutes. Top fives were meant to be shorter than top tens, but I've spent a lot of time in number 5.
I'll be quiet.
Just as well you're talking, James, because I haven't a clue what I'm talking about. Right, number 4, I've got Lara Croft.
Who? I'm only kidding. Sorry.
Obviously, one of the first video game female lead characters, although she was a bit sexualised and all that, with hot pants and tight tops and things. But Angelina Jolie played her in the movies. Very strong character. She knew where it was at and all that jazz. And it was remade with Alicia. What's her name?
Alicia Vikander. No.
If she has any kind of Scandinavian name, I will not be able to pronounce it.
It's Alicia Vikander.
Can't forget.
Would you call me?
She played Eva in Ex Machina.
Of course.
Oh, sorry, Ex Machina.
I'm sure you found it.
I think you'll find it Ex Machina.
Aye. Sorry. Yeah, but I really liked the Tomb Raider movies. I thought they were really good. Chris Barry was the butler, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
The first one was Daniel Craig. Second one was Gerard Butler, when he used to look kind of half decent.
Jaye, what's your opinion on Tomb Raider, Lara Croft? Do you know who that even is?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Sorry.
Have you seen the films?
I think I must have seen them like ages ago. Always on in the background somewhere, stuff like that.
They're actually pretty good films.
Comment, but I don't know. Oh no, I don't know. Pass it on.
No, they're actually pretty good films. They're kind of Indiana Jones for the kind of modern world, and now they're obviously going to be doing the Drake. What do you call those ones? Uncharted.
Oh yeah, Uncharted.
Oh yeah.
They're making them into movies, and it's. Do you know who's playing the Drake?
No,
not Nathan Fillion.
Tom Holland. Tom Holland is playing. Yeah.
Really? That's ruined my Spider-Man a wee bit.
Seems quite young to play that character, though.
He looks. I always thought that character was about 30.
Me too.
Maybe he's getting the younger days of
yeah, but
Nathan.
I really liked Angelina Jolie in it. I never saw the new one, so I can't really comment. But
I think I've seen the new one. I took the girls to see it at the cinema, and I think it is the best or the most relevant. I think
is it the darkest version?
I think it's the sharpest version. I don't think dark is the.
It's actually based on. It's actually based on one of the games, though, isn't it? Directly.
Is it? I don't know.
I think so. I think it's based on one of them. I'm not sure which one. So I'm not going to say.
Maybe the reboot one then. Like 2016, I think, something like that. That game. That was a good game.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't like.
It was like Lara's first adventure. They kind of go back in time to do the reboot, and I think the film might be based on.
There's time travel in it.
No, it's not. It's just a reboot of the franchise.
Love time travel. Love time travel.
I'll tell you what. See, once you get into time travel, so you're into like
My number one features it.
Ooh. You might be surprised.
You may be surprised, yes.
Number 3 is The Bride from Kill Bill. Now, here's a film I've watched multiple amounts of times, so hit me with any question you like.
Okay, so
good.
Does the bride have a name? Does she? Or does she?
Hit me with another question.
I don't think she does. I don't think she has a name. But what an iconic!
I think it's beeped out. See the first
that's
part.
right.
It's beeped out every time they say her name. It's beeped out, and then when they do reveal it, it's in part 2. Go and watch it to find out because I can't remember.
She wears a similar kind of. Well, she wears a kind of a motorcycle suit, I think. But it's a similar jumpsuit to Bruce Lee wore in Enter the Dragon.
That's right.
It's I like the when they're, I don't know if it's part 1 or part 2, but when they switch between the when she's buying the samurai sword and they switch from live action to animation.
Oh yeah, that's the part with is it Lucy Liu?
Yes, I think so, because she's one of the ones she has to wreak revenge on.
She's a kid, and it's the gangster gang Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
Gang.
I just put my glasses down this whole time.
And they kill like her mum or dad, and well, she's underneath the bed. Remember?
Aye, that's right. Yep. That's all in that little animated.
I think they did that. I think they did that as an animated part because it's so violent.
Mm-hmm.
That was the reason. Because it's so violent, so much blood, they had to do it as a cartoon. Because if they'd done it
live got around
action,
the censors, didn't he?
It would have been it would have been like unable to put that in the movie, basically.
So do you remember when there was the fight between, I'm sure it was the Bride and the Crazy 88?
Yeah.
And they were in that, I don't know what it was. It was a bar or a restaurant or some kind of club, and it all of a sudden went from colour to black and white.
Yes.
The reason it went to black and white was the same reason it probably went to the animation.
I think I'm getting mixed up.
The more of the red blood they showed, the more it was more violent. But if it was just black and white, they could show the graphicness of it.
I think you're right and I'm wrong, James. I think you're right.
But I think also, Jody, that they done the cartoon bit because of that. That's a really intense scene. Yeah. Jay, I don't know.
Very.
I'm guessing you've not seen it, but it's Kill Bill Parts 1 and 2, and it's super.
I've seen the posters and stuff for it. It's not like is it the women in like the yellow jumpsuit? Oh,
yeah, stylized, very Tarantino.
Yeah.
It's well worth watching.
Part one's very different to part two. Part one's very action.
Right.
Part two is more kind of slow dialogue stuff that Tarantino loves to do, you know.
Okay.
But she's such a strong character, you know. She's got the hospital scene and all that is horrific. What she goes through. She's basically left for dead in the movie. Right. No spoil it or anything. But she's left for dead, and then she ends up in the hospital in a coma, and then bad things happen to her. But she comes out of a coma, and
she wreaks revenge.
Brilliant. She wreaks revenge on everyone.
Every single person. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. There was a part where she's so much of a good person, but she so much wants revenge, and she meets the first mother, or the first person who was used to be in a group, and she finds this woman who betrayed her. Right. But she discovers in this mid-fight, this horrific fight, that this ex-team member has a daughter. So they stop fighting because she's such a mother and wants to protect the daughter. It's amazing. She's a worthy character. And I think, actually, when you hear Jay's top 5, mine's, Sloan's and Jody's, she might just be the best character. Yeah. She's that iconic.
She's
good film.
Okay.
They're talking about maybe doing a part 3, and it's going to be that scene you're talking about, James. The revenge of that wee daughter, because she'll be like 20 something now. Because you remember Uma Thurman says if you feel bad about that, you know, because she obviously kills the mum, and the wee daughter says, she says to the wee daughter, if you feel bad about this, if you want to take it up with me later on in life, come ahead, type thing. So they're talking about that's going to be Kill Bill 3, possibly.
Crikey. That'd be great. Wouldn't it? That'd be really good. Totally.
I'd like it if they did Kill Bill, you know, the next part, but they did it in 2 parts as well. And they did a young Uma Thurman, and it was her daughter. Because have you seen her daughter? She was in Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah.
She was you've seen Stranger Things, Jay?
Yeah.
You know the girl.
Her and Ethan Hawke. I think Ethan Hawke's her dad.
Yeah,
I think so. I think you're right. See the scenes in the kind of milkshake place.
Sorry, I'm not putting this on, guys.
Yeah.
The girl, that's Uma Thurman's daughter.
Ah, I didn't know
that's
that.
Behind the counter, aye. And she's also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well. She's one of the gang.
The daughter.
Uma Thurman's daughter. Yeah. She's the one. She's the one at the end that decides to bottle it and go back to the car. She's like the driver.
Oh, right. Okay. Who's I'm sure Kevin Smith's daughter's in that as well.
Oh yeah.
Harley Quinn Smith.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I digress. Sorry.
I'm
making your top 5 super extended out.
Not at all. That's what it's all about. Sloan's like that. Jeez, I thought these would be 5 minutes long. Bloody hell!
We switched it from a top 10 to a top 5 to kind of just shorten it.
So it used to be 10. It used to be with a top 10, and each one would take 3 minutes. So now we've got a top 5, and each one takes 6 minutes.
Once we get started.
I do apologise to you, listener, viewer.
Anyway, right, so I'm at number 2 now. And I'm sure this is going to be on somebody else's list. Ripley. James.
Absolutely. I know.
She's got to be up there, you know. She's got to be one of the strongest characters in movie history. She beat the bitch.
She did.
In the first one and in the second one. And things went a bit weird after that. But Sigourney Weaver's fantastic. The first one I remember. I mean, the fact she was the last one left, and how strong she was in that movie, the whole thing. You know, she really held it. She held that movie. It was a kind of ensemble piece, but she really held that. And she was just as good, if not better, in Aliens. You know.
Yeah.
Aye. Why do I get the impression that Sigourney Weaver's like 6'6"? I think she's really imposing.
I think she's like 5'10" or something.
Even when she's talking to men, you know, in those movies, you're like, all right, okay.
She's 6 foot.
You'd be kind of. Is she 6 foot?
Yeah, she's 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
Is she?
1.82 meters, which I think is 6 foot.
Yeah. Jody, she's 6 foot. All right.
Yeah.
It's all right for you, James. I'm 5'11" in heels.
I'm average height, according to the 1940 census.
You just keep telling yourself. According to my BMI, I should be 7'2". Put that in perspective.
Jay, what's your knowledge of Sigourney Weaver?
None.
None. That's totally fine.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. She was in the original Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, I know who she is. 1 million.
Yeah, and she's in what Pixar films? Like a load of Pixar films. What's she in, Faith? Finding Dory. Faith's my IMDb tonight. She's in Finding Dory. Literally, she's like, I'm the voice of Sigourney Weaver.
It's always good to have a wee sidekick, by the way, to type in things and Google and go. Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but
if you watch Alien and Aliens specifically, they're really, really, really great.
Is she not
films.
a voice in oh God,
Wall-E?
The movie Wall-E.
Yeah.
She's also the chief scientist in Avatar as well.
Avatar, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's the one that gets laid in front of the tree of life or whatever it's called.
That's right.
You know, the Pocahontas talking tree. Not that one. The one in Pandora. But it's the same thing. And then she gets taken up and she becomes a spirit with spoilers with the tree. Apparently she's in the second one though.
It's not out yet.
I don't know.
Isn't it?
Second one? No, it's not.
I think they're filming 4 back to back, are they not?
Yeah. It's underwater, this one, the new one.
Pretty ambitious, by the way. I mean, I know it was the biggest film of all time, but is anybody clamouring to see...
Used to be the biggest film of all time.
Yes.
Well, it used to be, sorry, Endgame is
I think it's Endgame now, isn't it? Yeah.
Rightly so.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and not a very thin limb, but I do not like Avatar. It's not a good movie.
Well, it's not the most original story, but for me, it's still the best 3D experience I've ever had in the cinema.
Yep.
Definitely, the color, and the depth and stuff. And I think animations work quite well in 3D. Just the whole when they're in the jungle part. I know it's like Dances with Wolves and A Man Called Horse again, but in space. I expected a wee bit more from it than I remember the hype when it was first coming out.
Well,
it's a bit more from it than that.
Dances with Wolves, Man Called Horse, Pocahontas. It's all those movies all wrapped into one, and you now have Smurfs as well.
Did you just say we have Smurfs as well?
Yeah, the Smurfs. Yeah, it's Dances with Smurfs.
Really disrespectful.
People call it Dances with Smurfs.
I call it Dances with Smurfs.
You've never heard that? No, people call it that.
No.
David asked me. He said, "Dad, what's your favorite out of Pandora and Galaxy's Edge. And I went, Galaxy's Edge? How is that even a question? What's the favourite out of Pandora and Galaxy's Edge?
How dare he?
I know. I went to
watching. The next time I see you,
tables so I could flip them all one after the other.
Shocking, like Domino's in the restaurant.
Yeah, sitting there.
Good for you, Sloan.
You're welcome. Although, having said that, though, if you ever get a chance, go to Satuli Canteen. It's really good, which is in Pandora, World of Avatar.
Sloan's gone into full geek mode.
Yeah.
Jeez, you had to pull that one out of the bag, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. I don't even need to look at one. Number one is the greatest of all time, and you probably are all kicking yourselves that you never, or maybe you didn't pick it for reasons.
I thought it was too obvious. Not that I know what yours is. I'm in tenterhooks.
Number one will not surprise you.
I think Jody double bluffed you and thought you would think it was too obvious, so he picked that.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe
I wanted to see everybody else's list before I showed mine.
That's usually my trick.
And it worked.
Go on, show us. Tell us. Who's your number one?
Princess Leia.
Oh, aye.
The scene that says that to me, the biggest scene for me that says she's the biggest female badass is when she gets rescued in the original New Hope, and they're caught in the corridor, and she gets a gun thrown at her by Luke or Han, I can't remember, and she's the one that blasts while they escape, and it's meant to be her that's getting rescued, and she ends up, finalising the escape, albeit into a trash compactor, but
it's also her idea to blast a hole in the bulkhead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's the one that blasts the hole in the bulkhead. She's the one that does the actual rescuing.
She is.
Because she's done this before. Despite what prequels and sequels will tell you, she's the one that's,
she's handy with a gun. And she looks like she's handy with a gun, though. It's the same way as Han Solo looks as if he is very comfortable with a gun slinger type, But she looks like she can handle herself. She's tiny as well.
I know. But literally from, I don't know what her opening line was, but I'm sure she was given a lot of crap to Vader, instantly. Because the whole thing, the whole setup was they've got the blockade runner followed by the Death Star, and it's just it's so imposing. The bigger ship's obviously going to defeat the smaller ship, and then it's on board the blockade runner, and then the stormtroopers come on board, and it's just so dramatic. You've got 5 minutes, which is obviously a long time in a film, and then Vader comes in, and he's just like, I'm so imposing, and she's just like, shut up. She's just really just giving him lots of attitude. Do you know what?
You're right. You're right. Probably that's the scene that she first kind of makes her mark, isn't it?
Yeah.
And shows her attitude. Mm-hmm. And see, when you see the auditions for other people, in the Blu-ray editions and stuff, the special editions, I don't know if you've seen the kind of audition tapes, and there's other actresses doing it, and they're so off. Something about Carrie Fisher that is just, I know maybe it's in hindsight and all that, but I don't think so. You see them and they're totally a bit too hippie-ish or a bit too something, whereas Carrie Fisher has got some sort of wisdom there, as well.
There's a spark, there's a fire about her.
Aye, it's a shame the way she was treated in the later movies, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
It's a pity. Although she did die halfway through, I suppose, which was a bit.
I know.
Obviously.
I still don't understand why they didn't just, kill off the character when they had the chance, though. Would that not have made would it not have been better to?
I thought that's exactly what I thought, but she was still alive. Remember when that was getting edited?
Yeah.
So that's probably why they didn't. But it would have been a perfect ending for her. They could have made it really beautiful.
Yeah.
Even though it was. And
they could have done the whole, rallying, let's do it for Leia kind of thing, and it meant something, as opposed to let's just ambush slowly towards this planet until we eventually run out of fuel.
The slowest chase scene of all time in movie history.
I know. So, Jaye, what's your opinion on Leia? What do you think of her? Because Jay's dad's a huge Star Wars fan, massive, like toy collector.
Oh, really?
Named his son Lucas.
Adult-sized Darth Vader skill bag, P1.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Just so, what's your opinion on Leia? What's your first experience or first memory? Or
I mean, like analyzing like her and like her roles and stuff. Like at the end of the day, when we'd watch Star Wars, she's the only one I could relate to. Probably the case for so many girls, and like seeing her as like in the same league as all the main characters. Like she could fight for herself. She had the wisdom about her. She wasn't stupid. It was like probably not realizing at the time at how much it probably impacted girls, because it's like, oh, I could do that. You know, I could be there, be part of the action. So, I mean, she was just like, probably because I came from a Star Wars mad family, she was like one of probably the main characters that I grew up kind of relating to and admiring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, movie history, she was like one of the first, you know, it put a twist in the damsel in distress.
I know.
Totally. Thing. It's like she didn't want to be rescued. She's just like, are you it? Are you my shining knight in armor?
She was as handy as any of them, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It was brilliant.
Or if not handier.
Yeah.
I'm sure Vader made some kind of comment about her resistance to that probe. Like there was some kind of, she was getting interrogated, and they were trying to, like, Vader says her resistance to
it's
something.
Futile.
No, that's the Borg, I'm sure.
That is the Borg.
So it is.
Some guy who doesn't know one end of a
different universe.
That's shocking.
But she is just an absolute badass. She is very, very cool. And growing up, you just didn't. If you had Luke and Han as the action figures, you'd want the Leia figure too. Like you wouldn't be complete without it.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. I don't think we ever had. We never had Princess Leia, like the 3 3/4 ones. I don't think we ever had. Yeah, I don't think we ever had the bun one, but we did have the Bespin and the Hoth one. I remember.
Yep.
Always like, I don't know what it was, but always like the Rebel. We had the Rebel. We had our Rebel.
The Hoth face.
And the Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia Hoth costumes. I always liked them. I always thought they were good costumes.
Yeah, me too.
They switched from this. Sorry, Jay, what were you going to say?
Well, she was always the go-to when it came to like dressing up. It wouldn't be like the Disney princesses. You'd want to be Princess Leia. Well, I did.
Yeah.
So does that make her a princess now?
What?
Does that make her a Disney princess now?
Well, I mean,
technically.
By the way, how sad was it when Carrie Fisher died? I mean, that was really
so sad.
Do you know?
I'm impressed. I felt pretty down about it.
Do you know what I was? I was sitting with Jaye, about to go and see Rogue One.
Right.
When she died, and we were sitting in the Scots Bonnet in Kilmarnock.
Oh, right, okay.
For a wee bit of some deep before we went in, and it came up on the thing, and I was like, no way, man.
Oh God.
Jay, Jody's son is called Jay also.
Sorry,
I clear that up.
Jay. Yeah.
I get it now.
That was pretty sad.
To avoid confusion.
R.I.P. Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, it was a sad day.
Okay.
Because I mean, she herself, the Carrie Fisher, was amazing. Like when you ever saw her being interviewed, she was always funny. I know she had several problems with, she was bipolar and she suffered
addictions.
Alcohol addictions. Yeah, but she was hilarious, and she was brought in as well as a script doctor for like a whole bunch of movies. That all those witty one-liners in movies in the 80s and 90s, that was her. Like she would be brought into those. Yeah, she.
Yeah, man. She was all over. Yeah.
And then she wrote her autobiography, The Postcards from the Edge, which was made into a movie itself. Then she did another autobiography after that. She was prolific. And she did some fantastic characters on the side as well. I mean, one of my favorite characters of hers, and I know it's a pithy character, but like it's a really small part. But she also she plays Tom Hanks's wife in The Burbs, and she's brilliant.
Oh yeah, that's what she does.
She's got these wee kind of looks as well, where he's going to go. I'm going to go out in the garage. I'm going to do some stuff, and she's going, "No, you're not. You're just going to putz around the house." And she just like nails his character straight to the wall.
Did they ever see the roast of George Lucas?
No.
And she does it. Brilliant.
No, I didn't know.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's really good.
You get the impression that when she is playing Princess Leia, is she actually just playing herself? Is that just actually who she is? Is she that badass? Probably.
I mean, she'd been working the club scene since she was like 12, I think, with her mum. And so, I mean, it's show business, and you got to deal with people. And I think that's the reason why she kind of shone in that role, is because she's Princess Leia, and she's kind of got to deal with these rebels who are, not particularly great.
Aye.
So, alrighty. So that was Jody's top 5 there. So we get Evie.
You finished talking. Good.
E for Vendetta. 4 was Lara Croft. Then The Bride from Kill Bill, and then Ripley from the Alien series of movies, and then finally Princess Leia from a little-known space opera called Star Wars. And that'll do it. Well, anyway,
nice one.
Thank you all for watching. So don't forget to smash the like button. Sorry, you guys have disappeared down there. I'll move you into this position. Sorry, guys. Don't forget to do that. And of course, sorry, you're going to disappear in just a second again, James, behind the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, notification bell.
So dramatic.
And we'll catch you in the next one.
See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.
And we're back.
Jody's like,